Hello and welcome to the What's the Story podcast. I'm Jarlath Kyan.
And I'm Victoria Houston. Each week we'll be focusing on the stories that matter to you. Stories about the people and places that make Tyrone so special.
The What's the Story podcast is brought to you by the Northwest News Group, who also print our much-loved newspapers, the Ulster Herald, Strabane Chronicle and the Tyrone Herald. Enjoy the show.
A few weeks ago, local photographer Jason McCartan was walking down Market Street in Omagh when he heard the beautiful sound of a cello being played. Jason went over and took a short video of a busker performing in the street. He was amazed to discover the talented musician performing his version of the hit song Pink Pony Club was blind. The video was posted on the We're Tyrone Facebook page and within a few days had been watched almost 90,000 times. It also led many people to ask the questions, who is the blind cello player and what is his story? My name is Kieran O'Neill and in this week's episode of the What's the Story podcast, we speak to the cello player, whose name is Dominikas Markavicius. Thankfully, he prefers to be called Dom. Last week, I sat down with 33-year-old Dom in his Cookstown home to hear his story. It's a very sad story, but one which also has many positive elements and will hopefully inspire some listeners to never give up on their dreams.
I'm originally from Lithuania and I came to Northern Ireland. I'm here living since 2019 permanently, you know, but I was surrounded up here during the summers because my parents and family lives here. So yeah, I grew up, born in Lithuania in a city called Klaipėda. It's a very beautiful city with a port, with the beach, and was studying up there, living up there, finished my studies up in the capital, and after the studies I came up here, live up here. So
what is your connection with Tyrone and Northern Ireland?
It's just because my parents, my father came to Northern Ireland up here and lived basically all this time in Cookstown since 2004, I think, so quite a long time ago. And then basically my whole family emigrated from Lithuania. I just came up here as well and lived with them, and Cookstown is a very nice city and I love to live here. When people are asking, you know, what are my thoughts about the Cookstown, I always say, you know, it's probably best city for me, you know. It's like and for everyone up here, I love it, you know. It's like we do have everything, you know, main stores, cinema, theater, clubs, bars, pubs, leisure center, everything, you know, basically all needs are covered, you know. So
your father had emigrated from Lithuania to Ireland,
yes,
in 2004, and how he had to leave his family behind, obviously, and he came here in search of work.
Yes, he was working up here. Yes.
Yeah, and then was your mother here as well?
Yeah. Then I have an older brother. My brother left Lithuania a couple of years later, and a couple of years later my mother left as well. So I was back in Lithuania alone. At that time, I still had like a grandpa, and I lived up alone and I was studying. I attended I moved to Vilnius, to capital of the city of Lithuania, and I was studying.
So would that have been the equivalent of university?
That's the Lithuanian Music and Theatre Academy.
Right. So obviously music has been a big part of your life. Tell me about your musical story. How did you begin with your love of music?
Well, it's where do I begin with? Like well, let's start from the beginning. And I started to attend music school when I was 7, I think so, yeah. And when I attended this school, one of my classmates' mother was a teacher in the music school, and she talked with my mother and said, maybe you want to have, just other activity to do, something for your son after the school. So she said, yeah, that's fine. That's good, So I attended the music school, and I supposed to be like, it was a preschool, like 0, the grade, grade 0 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I supposed to be like a choir singer, but at that moment, I had like a lot of sore throat problems. I don't know, is that the angina? Is that, yeah. So I had the problems with that, and when during the exam to attend to the school, I couldn't even sing, the songs I prepared.
Yeah.
So the exam juries asked if that's the common problem, and my mother said, yeah, that's kind of, so they said maybe you shouldn't sing, maybe you can try. They watched my hands, and they said they saw it's kind of good hands for cello.
Yeah.
And the teacher was in the jury as well, and she said maybe you would like to try a cello. I didn't even knew what's that instrument, what's kind of instrument it is, and my mother just wanted me to continue, to do something after the school. So she said, yeah, okay, let's do that. And that's how I started to play cello, how I was introduced with cello. So
Yeah.
and since then, so yeah, I finished the school of music up there. So that was 7 grades, and I was in 8th grade in normal school, and I needed to attend some gymnasium, or like up here is like a high school or something like that, equivalent of that. And I needed to change the school, and my cello teacher said, maybe you want to try to attend the School of Arts. And I said, yeah, okay, maybe we can try it, And I went to attend that, and everything went fine. The playing was at that time was quite good, quite normal, but my theoretical knowledge was quite low. And because I was in normal school, I was like in 8th grade, and I needed to attend to 9th grade. They said to me, we cannot, accept you with that kind of knowledge to 9th grade. If you want, you can, repeat the 8th grade and, continue your music path, travel, or how to say it. And that was actually the first decision that I have made myself, because I remember I was like thinking, do I need to repeat the year, or what to do, or I leave the music behind. And one night I just basically thought about it, and in the morning I woke up, I went to my father, and I said, that's it, I'm gonna attend that School of Arts, I'm gonna repeat the 1 year. And he said, basically, go to speak with your mother.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I went to tell the same to my mother, and my mother said, yeah, it's your choice, whatever you want to. And that was...
What age were you then?
That was 2007, I think so. So yeah, I was like 15 probably at the time. So yeah, I attended that school, and that school was basically a bit higher level. That's everything in one school. So arts, music, and proper like common studies in one school. So and the level was a bit higher. So yeah, from there I just I continued my cello path, and I already knew that I'll continue to do that. And after the 12th grade, when I was graduating that school, I already knew that I will attend the Lithuanian Music and Theatre Academy. Well, I didn't know which university I'll attend, but I was aiming to that, and I was lucky to get the spot up there. And
It sounds like a prestigious school, is it?
it's one of the it's one of the best in Lithuania, and quite good, compared. We prepare a lot of musicians and actors that are known kind of in the worldwide and everything. Yeah. So
What did you study there?
So it was performing arts. Yeah,
Right.
playing with the cello. So
Yeah. And how long was that?
so it's like it's bachelor studies. So it takes 4 years.
Yeah.
And the plan was to finish that, go to masters another 2 years, and then basically, stay in music path.
Yeah.
But yeah, along the way, I was dealing with health problems. That was my sight loss.
Yeah.
And I was actually dealing with that in the School of Arts as well. My sight was I was having some problems when I was like 13, 14 or something like that. But yeah, major stuff were happening when I was in active.
Yeah. So explain to me your eyesight. What were the problems you were having, and what?
So basically, when I was like teenager, I had some inflammations ongoing. I was so constantly going, to see doctors and to see what kind of problems it is, But it's very hard to tell when you have those inflammations what is the cause of it. So yeah, and I think so when I was 18. I had my first surgery, and they replaced the lens of the, they did the cataract surgery, and in one eye. Then next year they did the second eye, and when I was already in academy, so I noticed that my one eye started, to degrade very rapidly. I went to the ophthalmologist, and they said that the eye pressure is very high, so they discovered that I have glaucoma as well. And that's basically untreatable until now, but you can cope it with that, live with that disease, and sometimes medicines help, sometimes the surgeries help, to control the station. But in my case, I just, when I was in the academy, I attend 2012, but I finished only 2019 the bachelor studies, and because I needed to take like academy leaves because I was having some surgeries and everything. So
What is your eyesight now? Like,
it is 33 at the moment.
sorry.
What do you mean?
What is your eyesight at the moment? Are you?
I'm registered blind.
Right.
Registered as a severely sight impaired up
Right,
here. So
right.
yeah, I basically I can't see with the right eye at all, not even the light, and I still have some sight in the left eye.
And are you getting treatment for that? Is there hope
Yeah.
of treating that?
I'm getting treatment up here. Yes, and
And would your hope be that your eyesight would be restored, or?
There's how to say there's no medical hope. I do have my hope in my heart, but there's no medical hope. But doctors doing their best up here, and I'm very happy with it. And yeah.
So obviously, from going to the college to study music, and the problems with your eyesight, obviously would have had a huge impact on that.
Yes. Basically, I just because as I was saying that I had already decided that I want to continue the musician path, and I already knew that I'll be like a cellist and I'll play in some sort of orchestra. But yeah, when I started losing sight, basically understood that I cannot continue this path, because to be in the orchestra I need to read the notes constantly, and I cannot do that. So yeah, I just, when I was on the academy leaves, and I still had like half a year to come back and finish the studies in 2019. As I was like thinking very much, and I was thinking what to do. I just said, okay, I'll do it, just half a year just to get the diploma, and I'll learn everything by heart. And even though it's like untraditional, to do that stuff in the like kind of chamber music or something like that, just to play solo, that's easy, that's easy to remember everything. But in chamber music it's like kind of difficult, but I still did it. I get my diploma, and and 2019 I came back up here.
In 2019 you graduated?
In 2019 I graduated, and from there I came back here.
You came back here,
Yeah.
right? And you've lived here since?
Since, yes.
Right. How does that affect you in terms of playing the instrument? You say that you can't read music.
Yes,
but
so basically, imagine it's just a skill, in ground level. If you learn to ride a bicycle, you know how to ride it, even if you are blind or something like that. Just you don't see the path, but that's very difficult, and with the cello it's the same. The whole mechanism is basically in the muscle memory. But yeah, when I came up here in 2019, I didn't know what I'm going to do, and I couldn't even, at some points, like I basically did like a break of 5 years without even playing, without even touching the cello. I was thinking what I'm going to do. I was directing myself into, I was dabbing a bit into custom computer building and something like that, because that gave me at least something that I could create and touch and feel. Because with the music I was kind of stuck with what I knew. I couldn't learn anything like new in that classical way, and I couldn't prepare new programs. Well, I could actually, when I'm thinking right now, I was kind of struggling with the mind what to do, and basically then I remember COVID happened, and I already had only sight in my left eye, and that eye started to bleed, and I totally lost my sight for a couple of years, and it was bleeding, and because of the inflammations they couldn't do the injections into the eye, and I needed just to learn everything, like how to live without the sight totally. So I was trained, how to navigate with a cane, how to navigate around, I taught myself how to use the computer, how to use the phone, everything was different. And but somehow, I understood that I need to continue, live, and
Of now, are you working? Are you able to?
So
work?
I'm self-employed, as a musician at the moment. Yeah.
Right. So explain to me, when did you start the busking?
So busking was always like kind of in my life. The first time I started busking when I was like I think so 15 or something like that. We went to the tour with the orchestra of the school, and to south of the Poland, I think so, and just a couple of days before coming back to Lithuania, we visited Czechia, and just because we were teenagers with my friend, we spent all the money, the parents gave me for the tour, and we didn't had any souvenirs to bring back to the family. So we said, let's take our instruments, go to the streets and try something, what we can do. He was violinist, I was the cellist. We took basically best pieces of the orchestra that we were playing in the orchestra, and yeah, that was the first time I dabbed into busking. And I can't remember, that wasn't like too much, but we bought some souvenirs at least for our parents. That's kind of where it started. And yeah, since then I couple of summers I spent busking in Lithuania with my best friend, and that was like a good, just a good side gigs, let's say like that, to get some money, to spend on the summer adventures, let's say like that. So yeah, and up here in Northern Ireland, because I was traveling just on summers as well, I was going up here because my family was already living up here. I was kind of traveling around, and trying some spots as well.
And where would you have played?
I played everywhere. Belfast, Coleraine, Porter, Portstewart, Oma, just basically around the Northern Ireland, Dungan,
and would that be your kind of job now that you would do the busking?
At the moment, yes, that's what I'm doing in the summer. It's quite busy. We were kind of lucky with this summer. Actually, it was quite good, in weather-wise. So yeah, it was quite busy, and just looking forward to ongoing gigs, wedding events, and everything else. Yeah.
And how much do you enjoy the busking? Is it?
That's amazing. I like it. I very, very much enjoying doing that, and it's just another, as a musician, we all dream someday to be a performer, and that's the best stage to be in. You basically communicate with people, and if people don't like it, they pass away. If they like it, they stop and listen. They say good words. They acknowledge your music. Sometimes they even cry. It's like totally. I love it. It's like totally worth experiencing.
Yeah. And the fact that you're a cello player is not
very common.
Not very common in terms of busking, so I think that stands out.
Yeah, that's basically That's I totally agree with that. That's basically my hook. Let's call it like that. It's not. Let's say not everything goes into that, but yeah, people see the cello and then they can, that's like a attraction point, and they can then admire your playing, or just say, that's a noise in the crowd.
You mentioned there you moved some people to tears with your music. Have you any examples of that?
Yeah, just basically it was yesterday. I just got a comment yesterday that when I was busking in Coleraine, and one woman told me, you brought me in tears, I said sorry. And then she said, no, it's not in a bad way. But yeah, that's one of the many stuffs that very when you see like that, that's very enjoyable to me. That's like that's like a, how would say, not like a gift, but like saying very big thank to me. For example, when the small kids, you see them, dancing around or something like that, doing, smiling or something like that. Well, not I can't even. I imagine only, but yeah, I see some, when they like dancing around or something like that. That's very enjoyable as well. It's like.
And along with the busking, Dom, you, in terms of the musical job that you do, you were mentioning there about weddings and that. Would you do other events?
Well, it's everything will be hopefully in the future. I having some plans. To see how it evolves, and I'll try my best. To spread the sound of cello. To as much people as I can. That's a lot of musicians, even myself, I was classically trained, and we are saying, because at the moment I'm playing the pop stuff and popular music, that I think so reaches a lot more people, than the classical stuff. The classical stuff kind of goes into the niche of some sort of the people, and the popular stuff reaches a bit more. And because I'm doing that, I'm trying to spread as much cello sound as I can.
Do you feel that you're almost like an ambassador for the cello? Because
no, I can't tell it. No.
It's always, as I said, it's not an instrument we naturally associate with busking and popular music, but there's obviously a desire out there. You're saying, like, the reaction to our video shows that people, it's an instrument that people maybe are not too aware of, but there's a real beauty to it.
Yes, I can't tell that I'm ambassador of any of that, but even I wrote, when I was finishing my studies, I wrote the work, just the finishing work of bachelor. My theme was cello music and popular cello instrument and popular music, and I wrote about everything, the groups. Maybe you have heard also the Apocalyptica, and the two guys, the two cellos. They are worldwide. They are amazing, and I've also wrote about one Lithuanian guy. His goes by Future Cello. He's also awesome, and they do. Everyone is doing, something that those classically trained musicians tell. That's only the popular stuff. I don't even want to touch it. But yeah, everyone is doing what they can, and they think is best to reach the people. If that reaches a lot more people, and my music can connect with you better with this stuff, I'm fine with it, and I live in that music as well, so that's win-win with us. So.
You say when you came to Ireland you didn't play the cello for quite a few years.
Yes.
Why did you reignite that passion for it? And
well, it was basically just because I was struggling with a sight loss. I couldn't even just touch the cello at that moment. But I remember one time, just one friends up here in Northern Ireland, they had a birthday party, and they asked if I could just play some songs just before the party when everyone is attending. I said, maybe no, okay, I'll try. Then I took my cello, and it was actually, I remember the first time I like played the piece, I even teared up a bit, because I understood that that's what I want to do, going forward, and I practiced for a couple of weeks, did that, and since then I was like, just last summer I tried, I went to busk just for a couple of times again, and then I truly decided that I'll continue to do that, and I created my social media. Then just in the beginning of this year, one cellist from Lithuania, from my born city of Klaipėda, he invited me to the cello festival in Klaipėda, and I was very honored of that, and that's a very big international festival that is ongoing, and in Klaipėda, and they invite me to play up there, just for a couple, of sets, and I was very proud of that, and I started practicing, just remember what I can do, and
And how many songs would you say you rotate around?
Well, it's hard to say. Like at the moment, it's like, let's say, like 4 hours of.
So you could busk for 4 hours. You would be in.
If without repeating.
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. I can't. Well, always always choosing the most popular stuff, so
what would be the most popular again?
Just what's on the radio, or what's the most popular stuff.
Would you get requests?
Sometimes people just come and ask me. Just when I was up there in Alma playing, the woman came to me and asked if I can play Hallelujah, and I said I have the backing track. Let's no problem.
So in terms of the future, enjoy the busking, keep that going, and look at new opportunities, but you're determined to have a career in music?
That's a plan. Yes. We will see how it will roll up. I have right now I'm doing this social media as well as a blind cello, so I'm doing that, posting a little bit of shorts and those short videos, and right now when I'll have more time, because the busking season is kind of over, I'll post some full covers of the songs and something like that, and we'll see in the future, probably like early next year, like or the spring or something like that, maybe record an album or something like that, and we'll see.